All right. All right. So what if I told you there was an amplifier, right? And it has 6 watts per channel. It's not a truly balanced. It's got the balanced output and a 1/4 inch output. But either way, 6 watts at 16 ohms, 3 watts at 32 ohms, and 550 milliwatts at 300 ohms. Let's say I'm running a 600 ohm set of headphones on it, and it can destroy them. So power. Then the signal to noise ratio is 134 decibels with a dynamic range of 134 decibels. And the total harmonic distortion plus noise for this amplifier is 0.00007. That's a lot of, that's 4 zeros after the decimal place before 7. And then what if I told you this wasn't a THX amp, it was an SMSL amp, but then I also told you it was a drop amp because it's drop collabing with SMSL. And then what if I told you it was $169 on sale from $199? So yeah, they sent me this. And the name of it isn't on the front of it. In fact, I have to go back to the page because it's the HO150x linear headphone amplifier. So SMSL and drop, kicking it live. Normally $199, currently $169. Pre-order starts today, so I'm making this video today. I should have made it a week ago, but I don't know. I wasn't excited about it until today. It is bare ass bones basic as far as the build. You get a power button, which, hey everybody, I like it. Look, you on power, and it's just like a white, and then you it goes in and it lights up, and it's an orange light. You know, like everything should have on the front. Looking at the Rebel amp and everything the shit makes. You got an XLR RCA input switch. This amplifier has XLRs and RCA inputs. As you can see, I've got these crazy nice DD Hi-Fi RCAs coming out and going into, oh gee, I don't know what this is. Oh, a Gishelli Labs Archel Pro, well, with the custom carving by Grumpy Goose there, Chris from Grumpy Goose. Thank you, by the way. This was to celebrate my 10-year anniversary. Get real close and touch it. This is carved by hand. He's a psychopath. I'm using the XLR inputs off of Gishelli Labs DAC. I'm using the RCA outputs for these DD Hi-Fi cables into this because you could use them for speakers, and I was going to set up speakers behind the desk or those little FIO speakers on the desk, but I don't have the room for it. I barely had the room for this. And then you have power in, and it's a full-size power in, so there's no power brick. So you can use whatever plug you want. And that's it. Power button, XLR RCA, a 3-way gain switch, 0 in the middle, -12, +12. That is a 24 decibel swing. And I can tell you, I brought out some IEMs. I brought out the, if you haven't followed me on Inner Fetish, which is the other channel I run specifically for IEMs, these are the C Audio UM Ultras. They're fucking amazing. I put them on a different cable, and I put this to -12 and plug in the C Audio UM Ultras, and then I raise the volume, and then I raise the gain, and I raise the volume, pause, and I raise the, and I could hear this like ticking sound, but it's probably from all the other electronics around it. There's no noise floor. This is a $169 6 watt per channel amplifier, not a THX, with no noise floor. As far as I could tell, it's just picking up on like space quarks. So I brought it back down so I didn't blow my shit up and put it back to -12. And I have another set of I've got the T60 Argons. Remember those? I haven't had those out in a while. Well, let me take off these because I feel like these are a very specialized thing. And the fact that it isn't true balanced is going to upset some people. But then I want you to take a breath, click the link in the description, look at the fucking price, and be like, you know what? I could live without balanced. Yeah, you know, it's fine. Because one of the things Balance did here, we'll make this real simple. What Balance did back in the day, being like 8 years ago, like my Jesus mug, I don't know where I got it. I just have it, and it's all cracked. But it says, joy comes from knowing and loving God. I need to get a Satan mug so I can have that too. When Balance started being a thing, it was because amplifiers of the day, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, weren't clean enough or powerful enough. So you needed two to drive the hardest to drive headphones, and by separating it into two units, you have the noise. So now we sit here amongst the era of THX, amongst the era of topping linear, and now SMSL linear. HO200 on the rack behind the Rinco key touch. Oh, get the Rinco touch keys if you want to get the keycap set. It's right there. It's on Amazon. We now live in an era where 0.00007% total harmonic distortion exists, and it doesn't need to be balanced. We also live in an era where this can put out 6 watts per channel. So balanced is less and less needed. Not going to say I don't want to see everything balanced, and preferably in 4.4 Pentacon, which is my favorite. No, that's not it. Favorite thing. But, you know, don't fret. It's like, oh, I have to use it single-ended. I feel bad. This will have more power than most balanced amplifiers of anywhere near the price, and you're getting just as much cleanliness and separation. So it's the most blank box ever, which is why the anime sticker's on there, because I'd be bored otherwise. It's just aluminum, aluminum, aluminum. It's got your 4-pin XLR for no reason than convenience. It's got your 1/4 inch for no reason than convenience. It's got a knob with a beautiful, it says linear amplifier. Look at that. I can actually see where it's pointing. Holy shit. It's like a miracle. Half the things on the desk, I had to draw paint, literally had to get a paint marker out. This is like an $1,100 Andromeda from a musician, and it had no indicator at all. 0. So the fact that it actually has an indicator makes me happy. I am preamping out from this to this, so pretend this is speakers. Good, you're doing a great job. What was I plugging into it? I had something 4.4. I had the IMs into the thing. But you can understand, so there's no switch to turn on and off the pre-outs. So you feed your signal in either here or here, you flip the switch in the front, and then this constantly outputs at whatever your volume is set to and whatever your gain is set to. So if you have speakers attached, you're going to have to turn those speakers off because you can't stop the signal coming out. So you're going to have to just turn those speakers off. That's why I'm using it here with like another headphone amplifier, and if I turn this up, then that goes up, then I'll have to dick around with it. In fact, I'm going to unplug it. We're going to move this to Shelly Labs, which is, I just wanted to show this off, really. I'm going to show off the DD Hi-Fi cables, which are, I think these are $80, but fuck, man. Like, they just exude, DD Hi-Fi doesn't know how to make not quality products. And so we're going to move all that stuff away so we can get back to this. T60 Argons. Usually the question pops up, hey Zeos, I have Argons, I'm powering them with X amplifier, is that enough? And my answer is usually, no, you need Y amplifier or Z amplifier, or you can get a modify the ZX or Y amplifier. That is a 100% properly powered Argon. I'm on high gain, I can put it to medium gain, which is 0. And if I get the volume control like 90%, we're still good. At high on plus 12, this is just, here, wait. Because there's a difference between getting it loud and powering it properly. You can get any headphone loud, but not power it properly. It's just a matter of the voltage versus the amperage, how much current, how much drive. This has the both. These now actually officially can be powered for under $200 without modifying a speaker amp. Holy fuck. Okay, hold on. I got to do a thing. 50 Greatest Hits of Opera. That's going into the new sound demo test. That is Ronaldo. Hold on. She's in the way. That is Ronaldo HWV7 recitativo and aria. Lascia ciao. I can't read the whole thing. All right, I failed Italian. All right, I got a 13 on the first test at Italian out of 100. 13. I had to talk to my parents about that. It sucked. So put it to low. IMs with no noise floor. Put it to high. T60s can belt out opera at blistering levels. Jesus. And then as far as like what's the sound signature? Well, let's whip out these, which just arrived today, so they're not broken in fully. Harmonic Dyne, Zeus, Ultras. Shut up, phone. Shut up, crime. All right, I'm gonna have to actually make my phone shut the fuck up because it's just someone's just dinging me. You know what? I can make that go away. First of all, setting it to low gain. Don't forget to set it to low gain. Mute for... We got about 30 minutes in this? Yeah, we got about 30 minutes in this. Low gain. XLR inputs. At low gain, 3 o'clock, these work fine. Medium, 2 o'clock, these work fine. High, 10 o'clock, these work fine. These, I'm not reviewing these headphones yet. Fuck. We're back to the default amplifier again. We come around every once in a while to like, Zeos, I have no budget. Do you have $100? Yeah, kinda. Okay, cool. Stop. Save another $100. Buy the HO150x. That's it. That's the recommendation from now on. Because there wasn't, what was the amplifier back in the day that was the THX? It was the 888. I think it was an SMSL. Remember the one that had like the tilted box? It was a parallelogram box. And it had the same thing where it wasn't truly balanced. It was like but that had like, that was nowhere near as good as this is. I'm looking at I got the topping A70 Pro here. Got this new Aoun here, the reference DAC amp. And these are a couple $100 a piece. And it's like, this could absolutely do the gerbs that these are doing for most things. I haven't even got the review of those yet. So this has to come out first. So it's going to just fuck with me because it's been on my desk. If you paid attention, it's been sitting there and I've been just referencing it and plugging it in. The only thing I have to say negative about it is a bit of a bagel. Like here, I got my mug of jasmine peach tea talking about Jesus. Hold on. That'll keep it nice and warm. When you're playing something through it, the average box temperature is 97 degrees Fahrenheit. Which you can convert that to... Echo! What is 97 Fahrenheit in Celsius?
97 degrees Fahrenheit is about
36.1 degrees Celsius. So it's a mug warmer. That's another reason I brought the mug down. I didn't even plan on it. It's...
Tonight, you can expect haze with a low of 14 degrees. By the way, there's an air quality...
Low of 14 degrees. It's in Celsius. Thank you. I was confused for a second. So, other than the fact it gets warm, which you'll know it's warm because it's on, even if you're not playing something, I measured it. I literally was talking to Drop about it, and I'm like, hey, this thing's kind of warm. I got my infrared thermometer. When there's nothing playing, it's 95 degrees Fahrenheit. When there's something playing, it's 97 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's just warm. That's another reason you know it's not THX. In fact, that's why you know it's not basically any other amp. That's why it sounds so nice. And again, now we're getting to the sound. It has a warmth to it. Probably because it physically has a warmth to it. And probably because it has the power supply built in, where normally this power supply would be a power brick somewhere else. The heat's got to be coming off of this. This has got to be what's setting the heat in, is just the 110s being converted to whatever voltages they need to run the amplifier, which is probably this big. But it's a nice, even, warm heat. It's going to be great in the winter. If you have one of these and you live in a cold climate, you're just going to be like, I'm going to listen to some music. Oh, fuck yeah. You're just going to stand it up and just listen to some music, ma. Oh, fuck yeah. It feels so good. Yeah, so other than, I wouldn't even call it a heat issue. You're just going to want to, at least personally, I would turn it off at night. But there is the argument that heat cycling, when something gets hot and then cold and hot and cold and hot and cold, it makes all the joints inside of it bend and flex, and then, oh, they're not connected anymore. So if you could stand the power bill, which is probably like 8 to 10 watts, it's just a complete guess. I don't have my... Where's my thing? I do have my thing. Give me a second. I promise you I didn't know this in advance. 8 watts. Wow, good. Pause music. 8 to 8.3 watts. So if you could run it all the time, you'll be using 8 watts. That's how many, because I pay 15 cents a kilowatt hour where I am. So that means if it used 1,000 watts, it would cost me 15 cents an hour. Since it only uses 8, you got to divide 1,000 by 8 and then divide it out and how much it would cost you to run this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And then you could be like, well, is it worth $9 to run this and never turn it off? Well, there you go. I don't think it's going to start a fire, and even if it did, it would start a fire internally because it's made of metal and you couldn't escape. It's one of those things that I'm glad it only uses 8 watts, but it feels... I'm doing this thing now with the power supply that I bought. You saw the review of the power supply, right? And it's interesting to see how much something's actually using, something dragging out of the wall. Sitting here doing nothing. Volume all the way down, no music playing. It's still using 8 watts. It's still dragging that power through all the circuitry. And the fact that if I crank this up and plop in the harder to drive, or the hardest to drive, and then we put on some really demanding music. There we go. Get to the demanding part. It has no effect on the power draw. We're still at 8.5. Oh my God. It used 1,000th of a watt, 1/10 of a watt more than it normally was. So it's just using that to keep this whole circuit alive. And you can kind of feel that in it. Because, I mean, I do a terrible job of explaining how something sounds. When it sounds good, I'm just like, this sounds good. And then I drink my tea. But it's a price to performance issue here, where at this price point, which is dirt fucking cheap, you're never going to find something as powerful. Not this year, not that I've seen on my desk. I'm looking around. The Fosse, maybe, could do it, but it's a speaker amp, so you got to build an adapter, and then it doesn't have a switch or gain or anything, so it's like, are you really? Are you really? So yeah, the HO150x is a full recommendation. I would love a couple of them, actually, because this would be a great, like, benchmark amp. Just to put 3 of them and then plug 3 headphones in, and then you know you're going to get a consistency out of it. So I don't know what SMSL is doing, or what the equivalent SMSL product would be without, by the way, mousepad available in the description if you like to drift, bro. But yeah, please, SMSL, adopt this button. I don't know if this is a drop add-on instead of a switch. They put something interesting, but I like it. I like the simplicity. It's dirt. It's fucking dirt simple. The fact that it even has XLR RCA switches, which, by the way, feel really nice to switch, is like a super bonus. And I will obviously be getting... I'm going to break these in because they're going to be something special. I got a couple collaborations coming. I got a Harmonic Dyne headphone collaboration, which will not affect my judgment of this, because if you think I liked the Zeus, then what do you think I'm going to do for the Zeus Ultra? Durr. Or no, is it the Elite? It's the Zeus Elite. It's been here so short, I don't even remember the name of it. But yeah, T60 Argons, completely able to be powered for $169, or your most sensitive IMs. Here, wait. Oh. Spinny. Just gentle. The Hume Ultras are doing their Hume Ultra thing. Again, check out In-Ear Fetish. Thanks to my patrons for supporting this channel. Lord help me. You guys, and actually everybody gets wallpapers in the wallpaper hoard in the below. The downstairs. Check my downstairs. You get to install Resilio Sync and then sync every wallpaper I've ever used ever. Check out In-Ear Fetish for IMs. God, they're so pretty. Yeah, this is a great amplifier. It's a startlingly cheap one. I was assuming with the specs this would be at least $300. $250 to $300. $169? Sold. Anyway, see reviews early, participate in yard sales. Hear and get access to sound demos. All sound demos from the past, present, and future, for $5 a month. And then for $10 a month, talk to me directly, private Patreon chat, know what's going on. Like, these just showed up today. Guess who got video bubbles and messages and my first opinions at $10 patrons. So there's that. They also get into a lifetime swap meet channel where they can buy, sell, and trade gear. So if you join the $10 patronage chat, just click the pin thing and you'll get to the swap meet. And yeah, I'm done. You're done. This mouse pad's done. She's done. And I'm going to finish drinking my goddamn tea. Or I'm going to heat it back up on my heater. I'll see you next time.